single, I Just Don't Have the Heart, Cliff Richard.
All along the line, I've been true to you. Even though for some time I knew we were through. I was feeling the love it ended, can't be mended, but I can't bear to see you cry. The feeling's gone, it's been missing too long, but I just don't have the heart. I just don't have the heart to tell you. It's such a shame that it's ended this way, but I just don't have the heart. I just don't have the heart to tell you. There'll be no goodbyes, there are no words to say. When you realize that I'm far away, you'll be hurting like I've been hurting. The truth was burning, but I just can't say goodbye. The feeling's gone, it's been missing too long, but I just don't have the heart. I just don't have the heart to tell you. It's such a shame that it's ended this way, but I just don't have the heart. I just don't have the heart to tell you. But I just don't have the heart. I just don't have the heart to tell you. If I stop to think about the good times that we shared, I could fool myself believing that somehow love was still there. Shame that it's ended this way, but I just don't have the heart. I just don't have the heart to tell you. The feeling's gone, it's been missing too long, but I just don't have the heart. I just don't have the heart to tell you. It's such a shame that it's ended this way, but I just don't have the heart. I just don't have the heart to tell you. Heart to tell you. Heart to tell you.
They say, Cliff, you never change. You always stay looking as young as ever, huh? We've got a picture, before you speak, that disproves the whole thing. That is not, of course, Clifford, that's Harry Webb.
It is, yeah.
Aged 10
but actually nothing's changed. My waistline is the same, I tell you.
And that was in India, of course, where you spent, what, the first 7 years of your life, I think?
Yes, I was 8 when I actually got back to England. And it's funny how we always considered it coming back, even though my mother and father were born in India also. And so I was the second generation born out there, family from the British Empire building days. But nevertheless, when we were coming to England, it was always going back.
But do you have fond memories of those first 7 years? I mean, are there sights and smells and sounds that can bring it all back?
There are lots of sights and smells in India. I mean, the memories that I have of India are all good ones. You know, flying kites and staying with my aunt who let us eat with our fingers, you know. That's, if you eat curry in India, if you eat it with a family of Indians, then Asians eat like that, and it's great. The only trouble is my guitar nails get rice up them.
And condensed milk sandwiches, I think, were your favourite, weren't they?
Yeah, but that came later. That wasn't in India. That was back here in England when I remember I used to fight with my sisters to scrape the tin. And also, but the thing about condensed milk sandwiches have got to be white, though. And I'm into sort of brown bread and things like whole foods, you know? Whole chickens, whole lambs.
But tell me about coming home, as you put it, because it was quite a fall from glory in a sense, wasn't it? Because you suddenly had no money.
Yes, we had comparative wealth there. My father worked for a company that was a catering firm, so therefore we never paid for food. We didn't have to pay for our house. We lived very, very well. And so when we came back to England, my father had to sell everything and apparently arrived here with the payment for tickets and things like that with £5 sterling. I know that in those days £5 was worth a bit more, but not that much more.
And had you anywhere to live?
My grandmother put us up. I mean, my grandmother was terrific. If it hadn't been for her, and then later, about a year after getting here, an aunt of mine, I don't know what we'd have done. But it was because we lived badly in that we were in the two situations we found ourselves in. The family of 5, which then became a family of 6, we lived in one room. And it was because of that situation that we managed to finally get onto a council house, get onto a council estate, because someone came and saw the situation and said, oh, this is ridiculous, they can't live like this.
But your father was quite strict, wasn't he? I mean, quite a disciplinarian. Did he wallop you?
Yes, he did.
What with?
Didn't beat me, though, but he walloped me hard. Either with his hand across the shoulder, or sometimes if I was sitting close enough, I'd get one of these, you know. Like if you slap... Well, yes, I mean, again, I hear people talk about discipline at schools and at homes, and people use the word, I'll never beat my child. Well, of course, nobody should beat their child. But I can remember being walloped by my dad. Now, I don't consider being walloped by my dad being beaten by him, because beaten sounds like you're going, you know, why crash and kill and all this. Whereas I remember he had a cane, and I used to get behind my legs. But you see, you learn really fast, folks. You learn really fast. I came home and told my dad that I'd got hit by the headmaster for doing something I didn't do. And he said, you must have done it. Turn round. Wallop. He said, the teacher's not going to tell lies.
It's very interesting, because we did a bit of a poll the other day and discovered that 79% of people in this country believe you should have the right to hit your child, and yet there is a huge lobby against it.
Yes, there is, but I can understand it, because what we're fighting these days is abuse of children and things like that. And we've got to be careful that children are not abused and beaten. And to me, it's that. I think that there is a thin line, and I think discipline with love has got to be the best thing for a child. You
sound, I have to say, as if you'd make a terribly good dad yourself. I know you get tired of answering questions, understandably.
I make a pretty good uncle.
Is it a source of any sadness to you that you haven't got children? Maybe you will have children if you win.
I don't feel sad about it, no. Yes, when I was in my early 20s, I kept thinking, oh, well, you know, one day it'll be nice to father children and things. But as the years have gone by, I think that I've come to terms with my life and my lifestyle and what I am and what I do. And I don't know that children will fit into my life. Other people's children, yeah, great. But you see, you know, they do all go home. It's rather nice that you can enjoy the company of your family and their children, and yet still have the independence. And I mean, I know this is really selfish, but that's the way I am. And so therefore I don't really miss it. People often come up to me and with great love and concern for me say, you know, we can't wait for you to be settled down and happy. And I say, well, I'm really happy and settled, so I'm not losing on anything, really.
And one day you'll grow up.
Yeah. Yes.
Don't you feel like that? Absolutely. And don't you feel like that? You often think to yourself, you know, when I'm bigger, I'll do that.
Yeah, that's right, because funnily enough, age, it only shows in the creaking of the knees. I don't... No, well, I'm sure not with you, Sammy. No.
No, they go click, click, click when I bend down.
Yes, I can remember going up marble staircases in Portugal once and thinking the marble was loose.
On that note, I shall say, Cliff Richard, thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Well, this is the point in the programme where we put you in the